Ms. Cherpes, you claim you and your grandmother have been given no choice but to drag the defendant into court today because you say he moved away and abandoned your 9-month-old daughter, Araya. You believe the DNA results will prove that he is her biological father, and you demand he stops running from his responsibilities. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. McQueen, you claim that Ms. Cherpes' relationships with multiple other men is what drove you away, and you believe that today's results will prove baby Araya's father is another man. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Cherpes, tell me, what has Mr. McQueen done for your daughter so far?
He has bought her 1 box of diapers and like 2 things of wipes.
So she's 8 months old, 9 months old, pretty much nothing?
Yep.
And I can see that that really hurts you. You very angry about that?
Yes.
Tell the court.
It's hard because, I don't know, I didn't ever see it like this.
How did you see it?
Like he had promised.
And how was that?
Definitely not like this. I had moved out to go live with him, and we had actually planned on having her. And everything went downhill from there.
Mr. McQueen.
Yes, Your Honor.
So have you done anything for this baby besides just these diapers?
Yes, Your Honor, I actually have.
What have you done?
The first day I met her, I brought her diapers. The third time she let me see Araya, I also brought her diapers and wipes. And the last time that I was trying to see her before I did leave the state of Michigan, I dropped off clothes and boxes of diapers and 3 packs of wipes to her grandmother.
So you don't believe Araya is your biological child, and you're saying you still stepped up anyway, to the best of your ability?
Yes, Your Honor.
What is your position right now? You have doubts.
Yes.
Explain to the court.
I have doubts because I didn't have her full attention when we were together. She was more interested in getting other men's attention than mine.
So tell me, what was the nature of your relationship? Were you committed? Were you boyfriend and girlfriend?
Yes, we were committed, yes.
So you were boyfriend and girlfriend in a committed relationship?
Yes.
You were boyfriend and girlfriend, Ms. Cherpes?
Yes.
Mr. McQueen,
Yes.
on our porch, I asked you if you wanted this baby and that this baby was yours, and you told me yes, that you wanted the baby and you wanted this family, and now you're standing here. Explain yourself, please. How did it change?
It changed because I want to know if it's mine or not.
The only reason you're questioning me is because you were unfaithful.
I was unfaithful, yes.
And so you caught him cheating on you?
Yep.
And how did this lead to the paternity question? I mean, if you say you were faithful, he cheated on you, that still has nothing to do with Araya's paternity.
It's because he doesn't trust himself, so he thought it was all right, so he assumes I thought it was okay to be cheating on him.
So you're saying because he was out there doing the wrong thing, he thinks you were as well?
Yep.
But you were not?
No.
How did you find out he was cheating?
I set him up. Not necessarily set him up. I had told him I was going to my dad's for about 4 days. I had only went there for a few hours. And I told my dad that I just had this weird feeling. And as soon as I pulled in the driveway, I just instantly knew. And he came to the window, looked out, and I had told him to unlock my door. He had unlocked it, but stood in front of the door to where I couldn't open it all the way. And he's like, "You're gonna be mad." And I played dumb. I heard her talking.
So you opened the door and someone was there?
Yep.
What happens from there?
I asked him to make her leave, and they were both smirking at me the whole time like it was a joke. And
I did not, all Your Honor, think it was a joke.
I had my 3-year-old daughter with me too. So I didn't want confrontation in front of her, and I ended up kicking him out and took him off my lease the next day.
Do you believe, at the end of the day, he thinks you're cheating because he's the one cheating?
Yes.
Mr. McQueen, is there truth to that? Are you just out there doing the wrong thing and you think she is too? What evidence do you have that she's even cheating?
I have heard numerous times and have seen her phone from the corner eye view of walking by that she is getting attention of other men. She's getting money from other men while I am working 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, try to support our family.
What do these messages say?
I'm not too sure. I know she did lie to me, and actually, she did tell me she was going to her father's to do laundry, and instead, I actually found out that she went to another man's house and spent the night.
Is that true, Miss Cherpes?
Yes.
So you did. You went to another man's house and spent the night?
Yeah, because he had brought a woman to our house. So to kind of avoid the fighting, I had left, yes.
And so you find out he's cheating. Is this before or after you have this episode where you go to the house and there's another woman in the house with him?
This was before.
So before.
It's been numerous occasions. It
Your
wasn't
Honor.
just once. There's been about 3 girls in my house, yes.
Now, at the point you realized you were pregnant, what happens?
We were excited, actually. And then about 2 weeks after I had found out I was pregnant, that's when I caught him cheating on me.
2 weeks after.
Yep.
So you find out you're pregnant and you supposedly a happy couple.
Yep.
You're happy about the baby coming. He assures your mother he wants this child.
Yep.
And then 2 weeks later, he's cheating.
Yes.
I'm mad at Mr. McQueen because the responsibility is falling on me and my husband, and it should be his responsibility for the baby, not our.
How is the responsibility falling on you?
Because they're staying with us. I'm the one who cares for the baby when mommy can't. She's been doing really good, but there's times she's one person, and she's by herself. So I've had to step up to the plate. I don't understand this. I guess I'm just older generation or something, but I don't understand how a father can do this to their child because I know she's his baby. Mm-hmm. She was so happy when she got pregnant because they had planned it, and he knows that. And then now he's doing this. Wow. Why? I mean, I don't understand it.
So, Mr. McQueen, did you plan to have Araya?
Yes, we did plan on having a
So now she's here. What's the problem?
The problem is that when I was at work, she was doing what I don't even know, talking to all these other men during all of this, and this was, not okay with me. So
She was talking to men or she was sleeping with men?
I don't know. I was working 12 hours a day, 6 days a week.
It's all in his head. All of it.
They say you planned this baby. You were excited for this baby. 2 weeks later, you were making babies with somebody else. What is going on?
That I didn't have her attention no more, and she was trying to get the attention of other men.
How?
How? She was texting other men. She was going to see other men. She was using me, like,
Using you for what?
Using me for a place. I wouldn't
I
give
didn't
you
need to
money,
live with
so
you. I was
went
living
to
with my
another ex-boyfriend to
dad.
get money. Yeah, and I took you out of there, so you didn't have to put up with the bad situation.
I could have stayed there.
To what? Put her in a worse one?
That was not the plan. It takes 2 to tango.
All right, so we've established that Mr. McQueen wasn't up to no good, but I want to know about you. Were you getting back at him? Were you saying, you know what, I'll just talk to some other people since he's on the phone and he's texting Jessica and he's sleeping with women?
No,
And
I was talking to I have guy friends. I'm allowed to have friends.
so you have guy friends?
Yeah.
None of whom you've been intimate with?
Nope.
A week after I left my house, she moved her ex-boyfriend in, the one she was getting money with before. A week after that, I heard she was sleeping with another man, and then 3 weeks after that, she chose another one. And if I was, one of my
What are
doubts
their names?
is if,
all stuff you hear.
I was the child's father, then why did she refuse me to come to the delivery room? Because she had another man there.
Because you were arguing me about her last name, and I'd informed you that I'm not arguing while I'm having our child.
But yet there was the same man that you were getting money from when you were living with me and we were together before Araya was born. And he was there.
Yeah, as a support system, I have friends.
Mr.
But
McQueen,
who
is
do you
this
think's
other
there for
man
me when
named
you're
Glenn Gerber?
No, it is not, Your Honor.
Because this court has identified a man named Glenn Gerber
This is also one
who Ms. Cherpes was intimate with.
That would be the man she stayed the night with when she told me she was at her father's doing laundry. That was
Is
the man
that true,
she
Ms.
told.
Cherpes?
Yes.
So you told him you were at your father's house doing laundry, but really you had spent the night with another man.
Yep.
That man is Mr. Gerber.
Yes.
And he's in our courtroom today. He's at court, and I'd like to hear from him. Jerome, will you please escort Mr. Gerber in?
Yes, me. I'll be going up to the witness stand right next to the judge.
Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Gerber.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'd like to ask you, did you have a sexual relationship with Ms. Cherpes?
At one point in time, yes.
And so, how did you all meet?
Online.
And it quickly developed into a sexual relationship, or?
She was a single parent. I was a single parent. It was kind of just getting to know each other to begin with.
So, was it an intimate relationship?
Yes. At one point, yes.
At one point it was. How often were you intimate?
Not very often at all.
Do you think there's a chance that you could be Araya's biological father?
I do not. I didn't see or hear much about the baby. Nothing's ever been said to me about being the dad until now.
So, Mr. McQueen, you're saying that Mr. Gerber's testimony that he was also intimate with Ms. Cherpes further validates or fuels your doubt
Yes.
as to what she was doing
Yes, Your
while
Honor.
you were working?
She also told me on Facebook that I was not her father, and that said man that was giving her money and was at the delivery room was her father.
Did you say that, Ms. Cherpes? Did you say someone else was baby Araya's biological father?
I may have agreed with him, yes.
What do you mean agreed with him? He made the assertion and you said that's true?
He wasn't there anyways. I was doing it on my own, regardless of who was the dad.
Your Honor, I asked her for a DNA test from day one, and she's refused me up until this point.
I never know where you're at.
So, Ms. Cherpes, tell the court, what has this been like as a young woman raising this child on your own?
It's hard because she's not my only kid.
How many children do you have?
I have 2 children. I had my own house. I was living in the house that we had actually originally gotten together, and I struggled for the whole year to keep it. I was working 12-hour shifts, going to school. I was taking Raya to school every day with me.
And where were you at, Nate?
I
Mr.
was trying to
McQueen?
get my life together so I can
But why didn't you think of that
succeed and
before you
set it-
wanted this baby then? Why didn't that come into play first?
I did.
No,
Yes,
you
I
didn't.
did, because she did
You
not
did.
realize that I was working my
No, you didn't.
tail end
Because
off.
why are you saying that now? You had the baby. You should have known ahead of time to have gotten yourself together before you pregnated her. If you're gonna dip it, pay for it.
I worked every day.
Do you think your daughter's gonna care about you being gone and working on yourself, or the time that you spend with her? I don't get to choose when I wanna be a mom.
Mr. McQueen, Ms. Cherpes' statement is true. It's not a matter of convenience, when it works for you, when it doesn't work for you.
And I agree, Your
You
Honor.
said to this court, you planned this baby, and you do understand that it could be your biological child.
Yes,
Why not be more present?
because me and her don't get along, and she's refused me numerous
This isn't
times.
about us. Be an adult.
You
This is for
refused
her,
me
not
numerous
you and not
times
me.
to even see her. You tried to make me choose between my other child and her when I know my other child is mine 100%.
I just
and
tried to take
you-
Araya to you to go see you, but I couldn't because your baby mama was there with your son. Like, you can't. It's always about you.
All right, there's only one thing to do at this point. Let's get the results. Jerome,
All right.
these results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Cherpes versus McQueen, pertaining to whether Mr. Gerber or Mr. McQueen is the father of 8-month-old Araya Cherpes, it has been determined by this court the biological father is Mr. McQueen.
See?
You are the father, Mr. McQueen.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Where do we go from here?
Back home, and I'm there 100%, Your Honor.
Thank you, because I'm tired.
I can tell she is just that. For 8 months, she's had to fill in your shoes.
and my husband's disabled, and I'm taking care of my mother with Alzheimer's, and then I have the baby because he wouldn't step up, and it's his child, and I knew it.
Well, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I really am.
Thank you.
So now that we have the truth, let's do something about it. Your blessing, the only blessing in this now is that at 8 months, she really won't remember this.
Yes.
And you have to take that blessing now and run with it. Meaning you got to step in there and you've got to make sure she understands that she has a father and you're there for her. Let's try to clear the slate now. Mr. Pace, you say you will be crushed today if DNA results reveal you are not the biological father of your son, Prince.
Yes, Your Honor.
You maintain that the defendant betrayed you by cheating with Prince's second possible father, your best friend.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Ms. Fobbs, you say you were caught between the man you're in love with and his best friend.
Yes, Your Honor.
You admit you made a horrible mistake when you slept with both men, but you say you're still hoping with all your heart that Mr. Pace is your son's biological father. Mr. Randolph,
Yes.
you're Mr. Pace's best friend
Yes.
and the second potential father of Prince.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Pace,
Yes.
so what's at stake for you and your family today?
Well, what's at stake would be, I would say, 3 relationships. The relationship that I have with Ms. Fobbs, as well as the relationship that I have with Mr. Randolph, also the relationship that I have with Prince. So there is a lot on the line for me. That's my little man. We watch TV together. I'm feeding him cereal in the morning. He's like my real little buddy, and he looks up to me, and I don't want to let him down, basically.
So take me back. How did the two of you meet?
Well, we met while I was actually driving. It was a hot day. She had on short shorts. I'm a leg man.
Okay.
So I pulled over, actually, and we had a conversation. I ended up getting her phone number. We went out on a few dates. We kind of bonded real quick. She ended up moving in with me and Mr. Randolph. Shortly after her moving in, she became pregnant. Once we found that out, being that she wanted her own space, we ended up moving into another spot together. And that's where I've been ever since, as far as in the relationship with her.
All right. So you were in a real relationship with Mr. Pace.
Yes, Your Honor.
When did this love triangle, this cheating, begin and how?
I wouldn't necessarily call it a love triangle because the situation with me and Randolph only happened once. Upon me being in the house with Byron, the thing is, he works at night, so he's never really home with me, and I kind of took that as a feeling of neglect. The situation with me and Randolph was a mistake, a big mistake, the worst mistake I think I ever made, because I've never intentionally set out to hurt Byron in any way. I just want this to be okay. I want everything to stay the way it is. I don't want us to separate the situation or anything.
So when you say you took this as neglect, was there anything else going on in the relationship other than he's just going to work?
Basically, what we were arguing about was past. It was just me feeling neglected at home.
I do work a lot. I promote clubs and parties, so I am out and I am around a lot of, I would say, women. And she kind of, I guess, takes that as me being unfaithful.
So were there trust issues?
At times, but not at the time that the situation occurred, no.
So, Mr. Pace, how did you find out that she slept with your best friend?
Well, that's interesting. We were actually in a heated argument at the time that it occurred, but it kind of just got blurted out to me that Mr. Randolph could be a potential father for Prince.
Wait a minute. So you're in a heated argument as a couple, and just out of the blue she yells, and by the way, your best friend could be Prince's father?
Correct. Prince was 2.5 at the time. So it was very emotional for me, being that it's my best friend and this is my woman.
Understandably.
So when I found out initially, like I said, I was hurt, I felt betrayed. by actually both parties at that point. But I wanted to assess the situation, not being upset, because I initially called Mr. Randolph to find out what was going on. I wanted to meet with him face to face to find out what's going on. But I did take a few hour break as far as before we met, because I didn't want to do anything out of anger. Upon meeting with him, we kind of all agreed, me and him agreed, that we definitely needed to find out what was going on as far as the DNA of.
So when you met with Mr. Randolph, you asked him point blank, have you slept with Ms. Fobbs?
Yes, I did.
And he said yes.
Strangely enough, he did say yes.
So Mr. Randolph, I just have to ask, how could you sleep with your best friend's girl?
Well, to answer that, Your Honor, I wasn't in the right state of mind. We both was intoxicated. You know, he was out promoting clubs, and she used to come home from the club intoxicated and, you know, looking for him. He's not there. Me and her talk, and, you know, one night the talk led to something else.
And so was this sex unprotected?
Honestly, Your Honor, I was intoxicated, and I really don't recall.
Was it only one time?
Honestly, that I can recall, yes.
Well,
That's it, just one time.
One time is one time too many for me. I'm very confused at this point. It's really hard for me to be standing here and in front of you, and I'm kind of nervous as far as what I'm about to hear. I don't know, really want to move forward with a positive outlook.
I understand. So, Mr. Randolph, you submitted to the court a childhood photo of yourself
Yes.
and Prince.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you think you look pretty much exactly alike?
Little characteristics, forehead maybe, mouth, but
When you look at this picture, Ms. Fobbs, do you see any resemblance?
No, I don't.
None.
None.
Do you see a resemblance to Mr. Pace?
Yeah, he looks like Byron more than he looks like
Yeah.
Randolph.
I see my nose a little, as well as maybe my upper lip, a tad bit. The nose kind of flares out like mine. We have the same lines towards the upper lips, so I'm hoping that's me.
Both men now know, and the secret is basically out. Was it a secret you were holding, and during the argument you just had to let it out?
Yeah, at the moment, Your Honor, I was contemplating on how I was going to get the information out, because I do want my son to know who his father is. I don't want to hold that secret, and it was something that was weighing heavy on me. So maybe it wasn't the right approach for me to give it to him at that way, but I just feel like now we're at the point of no return, so I have to do what I have to do.
So you say it was weighing heavy on you.
Yes.
And Prince is how old?
He's 4.
4 years.
Yeah, I didn't tell him when he was 4. I told him when he was 2.
2.5, like 2.5.
So when you look at this picture of Prince, your beautiful little boy, what do you want for him?
I just want him to have a dad. That's my main thing. I want him to grow up better than I did. I didn't have a dad in my life, so I'm not justifying that, using that as an excuse, because I did do wrong, and I just feel like he doesn't deserve it.
Is Mr. Pace the only person that stepped up and really been a father to him, or has Mr. Randolph helped as well?
No, Sam is not in Prince's life. As far as it goes, Prince knows
Just
Randolph as
like an uncle.
And he knows Byron as his dad, and that's the way I want it to stay. I don't want him to grow up confused and later on down the line ask me questions as of why didn't I disclose this to him, and him to feel hurt and him to be feeling like he's neglected and he grew up never knowing. So that's why I am here.
And so you, Mr. Pace and Mr. Randolph, you all have tried to reconcile and keep your friendship despite this?
Yeah, correct, Your Honor. I've been knowing Mr. Randolph over 10 to 12, 15 years almost. So I don't want to say bros before, but I do want to say that I understand that men kind of have a bond that women don't have. So our relationship is under wraps, but it's a stressful situation because I look at him and I see different situations. This kind of would leave the resentment that I have for him on the table. Technically, we're all grown, so it really just leads down to the kid.
And that's absolutely true, and that leads to my next question. How are things between you and Ms. Fobbs? Are you trying to work that out with her as well?
Well, it's been difficult. I love her, but it's just been difficult when you're caught between two people that you care about.
Why do you feel caught between them? Because it's over. There's no relationship, they say.
Well, but you still have doubts. Like I say, I see this man on a daily basis as well as I see her on a daily basis. So when you have a small thought in the back of your head that this may have occurred and you don't have the initial proof to find out that it's not true, then you still kind of look at people with a little edge on your shoulder, I would say.
So you're saying, even though they said it only happened one time, every time you see him and then you see her, it's always still in the back of your mind, is it really one time or is it still happening?
Correct. I kind of don't leave them alone, you know, things that...
That's understandable and a good idea.
So things like that to where it kind of makes me out of the character of the person that I am. I have to
Because you want to be trusting.
I want to be
You
trusting.
don't want to have to worry about that with the people you love.
Yes, because, you know, I stress enough in the streets with work and business and things of that nature. So when I get home, I don't really want that to be my most stressful place, I should say.
Yes. So, Ms. Fobbs, do you want to work on the relationship with Mr. Pace?
Yes, I love him. I love him very much, and I'm never going to take from him that he's an excellent father. I couldn't ask for a better person to be a father for my son. I just want him to be able to understand that I did make a mistake, and I am woman enough to admit that I made that mistake, and I want us to go forward from this situation regardless of the results, regardless of, even though in my heart I hope that it does show that he's the father, I just want us to still be able to be a family as we are.
Do you fear that if it's determined that Mr. Randolph is Prince's biological father, this relationship won't survive?
No.
Yeah, I do.
I don't. I mean...
I feel that way.
For me, it would kind of hurt me a lot.
So there's a lot riding on this result.
Yeah, it is.
There is a whole lot riding on these results.
Jerome, I think it's time for the results. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics and they read as follows. In the case of Pace versus Fobbs Randolph, when it comes to 4-year-old Prince Fobbs, and whether Mr. Pace or Mr. Randolph is his biological father, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Pace, you are not his father.
My bad, bro.
Oh, man.
So sorry.
That's not what I wanted to hear.
I'm so sorry.
It's not right.
Do you need to sit down, Mr. Pace? Are you okay?
I'm okay.
Continuing on with the next result. It has also been determined by this court, Mr. Randolph, you continuing on with the next result. It has also been determined by this court, Mr. Randolph, you are not
I apologize.
Ms. Fobbs.
I don't know what to say.
Do you know who Prince's father is?
No.
That's me. I'm Prince's father. There's somebody that may be his dad, but I'm his father.
Mr. Pace, I commend you, given the news you've gotten today, for still standing up for that beautiful little boy. And it shows what kind of man you are.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Randolph, you made a mistake as it relates to your best friend's girl, a huge mistake.
Big mistake. I would never
And
do
I'm
it again.
hoping you've learned that life lesson.
I learned, Your Honor.
And
I
it
have.
seems as if you two do have a friendship and a bond that can overcome even that level of betrayal.
Right.
And it's nice to see two men be able to talk through something and maintain a friendship that means so much to you both.
Yes,
I wish you all the very best of luck.
thank you, Your Honor.
Most importantly, I wish Prince a very, very happy life, and I'm counting on you all to provide it for him.
I will.
Court is adjourned. Now, it would be different if you were just a young man sowing your oats.
I am.
And you had let all these women know that, listen, I'm a dating man, I'm single, but you're not single.
I am.
You're not single. You are married to her.
That was an accident. That was.
No.
So now it was an accident.
Okay.
So now it was an accident.
And so,
Right.
And so I hope you are not suggesting that your relationship with her is an accident because you have 3 children with her and a family as well. In addition, you have another child with Ms. Austin.
The kids, I love my kids dearly, but I shouldn't have
You
got
just
married.
don't love their mothers.
Correct.
So let me ask you this.
Correction, he's lying because he was texting me a couple of weeks ago telling me how he still loved me. So you honestly still love me. The relationship just over with.
You married to him.
Yes, but we're trying to get divorced. I want nothing
Well,
to do with
I'll
right
give you
here.
all this news flash. You're still married until you divorce. And you have 3 children who are counting on you to handle that maturely and respectfully, unlike how you acted in here today. Now, let's go back to Miss Austin. Have you gotten yourself together? You okay? Step on up here. I want to hear from you. Now, you say you are the soon-to-be Mrs. Wallace, even though that's technically still his wife. What are you thinking that you're engaged to a man that's still married? That don't make no sense.
And then he's gonna be in a relationship with you and say the same thing. He cheated because he boring and you can't cook. So why would you do the same stupid thing I did?
Miss Reed, give Ms. Austin a chance. I really want to know from you. What are you thinking?
Probably just falling for what he tells me. What's he saying?
You falling for what he tells you? But if you hear what he's done in all of these accounts of these women, do you realize all you all are telling the same story? It's the same story. What are you thinking? Why would you say you want to be Mrs. Wallace?
I thought Rael got himself together. I thought he pulled himself together to be in a relationship with me. That's what I thought.
You did? Why did you think that?
He stopped doing everything. He stopped cheating. He even gave me his phone.
But did you know that Ms. Reed said he just texted her a couple weeks ago and said he wanted to be with her and
That's
Miss
news to me.
Roberts?
I didn't know. know that he texted Dominique. I didn't know that he texted Kendra. I didn't know. This is all new to me today.
That's false. I didn't text them.
Your Honor, like,
So you're a changed man?
Yes.
Your Honor, the cycle never, like, the cycle is not going to stop with Rael.
All right. You know what? I'm going to get to the paternity results in a moment, but first, I need to read the results of Mr. Wallace's lie detector test. Jerome, can you hand me the envelope, please?
There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Wallace, you were administered a lie detector test. In advance of taking the lie detector test, you admitted to having sex with 4 other women that were not involved in this case during the past 3 months. Before you were ever asked a question, you just admitted it. So during this test, you were asked, other than what you told me, have you had sex with any other women in the past 3 months? You had admitted in advance that you had sex with 4 other women that weren't involved in this case, and the lie detector indicated that you were telling. So during this test, you were asked, other than what you told me, have you had sex with any other women in the past 3 months? You had admitted in advance that you had sex with 4 other women that weren't involved in this case, and the lie detector indicated that you were telling the truth. So, this means you had sex with 4 other women, not Ms. Austin, not Ms. Roberts, not Ms. Reed, in the past 3 months. That's what you admitted to, and the lie detector confirmed it. Now, Ms. Austin, do you still want to be Mrs. Wallace, knowing this?
No.
I can't hear you.
No.
It seems like it almost hit you by surprise, like you weren't expecting to hear that. Look at me. Don't be ashamed. Look, first of all, let's really keep it real. You're not the first woman nor the only woman in this room that has loved the wrong man for too long. So that right there, let's just be honest with that. Look, and Ms. Reed is clapping for you on that. So you don't hold your head down, lift your head up. So you made a bad decision. You love somebody that didn't love you back the way you wanted them to. That's human nature. We go through that as women. But what I want to understand is, do you understand clearly what I've been trying to say to you?
Yes.
That you've got 3 women in this room telling the same story of lies about one man. Now he's admitted in advance of taking the lie detector test, you know what? Why even take the lie detector? I'll just tell the truth. What I don't understand is, Mr. Wallace, you tell me all the truth, but you don't tell anybody you're sleeping with any truth. But you stand in here, and when I ask you something, you just say, yep, that's correct. That is correct.
They know what I am. They know what I do.
So, listen, I'll tell you what you are.
A liar.
Thank you.
A cheater.
You
A
is too.
heartbreaker. No, don't say I
Cheated
am
on
nothing.
you because you cheat on me.
No, you didn't.
If
No,
I could go
is
back
that
to
the
hands
lie?
of time, I would have did more things when I was with
Is that the lies you said?
So what you're saying is, if you could go back in time, you
sleep
would
with
cheat
more
on your
women,
wife
yes,
more.
I would do it again.
Because you feel
because
like
she is a whore. She cheated on me. She slept with my friends.
He started
She
saying,
is
who's
a
your
whore.
friend?
She has about 6
Let's get some
boyfriends
order.
right
Let's
now.
get some order.
You don't come on here and try to act like
Hold on,
you
Mr.
so perfect.
Wallace, you're not going to address a
listen to
woman in
me.
this courtroom that way.
That
You
is not
better
acceptable.
pipe yourself down.
Oh, man.
Listen to me. You don't flip people off. You don't use profanity in my courtroom. You understand me?
No.
You want to go out of here?
Yeah.
Mr. Wallace, get out the court. Get out the court.
And don't
You know
touch
what?
me. Hey,
You
what are you gonna do
sorrier
about
than
it?
I thought you were.
Let's go.
Get
We're going
out
out of
the
the courtroom.
courtroom, Mr.
Don't be dumb.
Wallace.
You don't be
Mr.
dumb.
Wallace,
Go out
leave
there.
the
Don't
courtroom.
scare me.
Go out of the
I'm from
courtroom.
Chirac, boy.
Leave
I don't care. Go out of
the
the courtroom.
courtroom, Mr. Wallace. Mr. Wallace, I know you had to have a moment. Sometimes we have to have that in life, but I'm glad you're back.
I'd like to apologize to you and the court and the bailiff and to Miss Reed and Miss Austin and Miss Roberts as well. The thing is, where I'm from,
Go ahead, baby. Talk. Tell me.
came here for my kids. I never had a father.
Take your time.
I never had anybody to show me how to treat a woman or to be a man, or I'm just here for my kids. Where I'm from, the way that I treat women, it's the only way I know. That's the only thing that's accepted from where I'm from. Just need help just need help.
And that's why we're here. What do you want from this? Because, let's be honest, you didn't have to come.
I want to be a better father and a better role model to my kids.
Yes. Now, I need to say something to you now that you've made your apology. As I sat here earlier and watched you, I said to myself, wow, this guy's really acting like a jerk. But I think the important word in that sentence was acting. Because what we see now is you're really not that jerk. That's a tough exterior you put on to mask a lot of the hurt that you felt. It's from the things and the issues you've been a victim of. Your childhood, not having a father. And I want to say to you in front of everybody that you could have walked out that door and never come back. And that's what a boy would have done. And what did you do? You walked back in. I'm proud of you for that. I'm so proud of you for that. Because when you say to me, I've never learned how to treat a woman or how to be in a relationship, that's the truth, and that's what this courtroom is about. Sometimes you got to lay it on the line, because when you tell the truth, that's where people know where to meet you. I want to meet you exactly where you are. You say, Judge, I don't have a clue. And I say, you know what, Roniel, I got your back. And we are going to make sure you have the resources to become the kind of man and the kind of father I know you want to be, okay? Now it's time for the DNA results. Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, Miss Austin, because things were so volatile, it was an emotional time, I'm going to ask that you leave the courtroom. And Jerome, if you could escort her
through that door.
Thank you. And I'm going to ask Ms. Roberts back in. Welcome back, Ms. Roberts. You all right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Like I told Mr. Wallace, sometimes in life we have a moment where we let our anger get the best of us, but I think it's a wonderful thing that you were woman enough to walk back through that door and come and get the truth you came here for, okay? Are you ready for the results? Okay. Jerome, will you hand me the envelope, please?
Certainly.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This report, as prepared by DNA Diagnostics, reads as follows. In the case of Roberts versus Wallace, when it comes to baby Danielle Wallace, Mr. Wallace, Do you want to watch Paternity Court on TV? Go to paternitycourt.tv to find your local listings. In the case of Roberts versus Wallace, when it comes to baby Danielle Wallace, Mr. Wallace, you are the father.
I gotta go.
Mr. Wallace, how you feel?
I'm glad that he's my son, and I apologize for all the pain and suffering that I caused all three of these women for like the past 2 years. It's been going on every day, and I apologize.
You know, there are times in life when you have to just look at a situation and know, I have just done everything possible that I could do wrong. You blew it. Okay, now what? You stated your truth. You've made an earnest apology, and we know it's earnest. And look what we have here. Thank you, Miss Roberts. Come on back in. I believe Mr. Wallace wanted to say something to you. He said it when you left. Mr. Wallace, go ahead.
I apologize to you for everything I put you through. You're a great mother to my son, my other kids that I have with everybody else, and to the rest of your kids. You've been nothing but nice since I met you. You're a good person and a great mother, and I apologize.
Very good. Ms. Roberts, is something you'd like to say?
Yes. I just feel like, you know, it ain't been nothing but like favoritism with my son ever since I had him. From the stuff they done said about him and stuff, he is an innocent baby. Like, I ain't have a father in my life, so I don't want my kids to grow up not having no father in their life. And all the times he wasn't around him, just because if he was with her or the Mary or whatever, I felt like that wasn't right. I feel like if you get one, get the other, no matter what they say, how angry you think they gonna be. And I felt like my baby didn't deserve that, period.
He didn't. And you know what? While you were outside of the courtroom, Mr. Wallace has already said that he intends to right his wrong. And he wants to be the father to his children, all of them. So now, for your child's sake, you have to encourage his father. You hear me? Miss Reed, can you support that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Wallace, looks like to me this day turned out a lot better than you thought. Okay? I'm counting on you. Those children are counting on you. Get it done. Nowhere to go but up from here, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Court is adjourned.